SharePoint Ransomware Alert. Hackers exploit critical vulnerability in 2025. In a shocking turn of events, the cybersecurity landscape has been shaken by a recent ransomware threat linked to the exploitation of Microsoft SharePoint. This malicious act has caught the attention of experts at Palo Alto Networks, who are now diving deep into the investigation. According to sources, an anonymous cybercriminal held a victim hostage after infiltrating their system through a SharePoint weakness. The hacker left a ransom message, demanding payment in exchange for the decryption of encrypted files. The note ominously warned that any attempts to reverse the encryption would result in the permanent deletion of the files. But here's where it gets controversial. Palo Alto Networks' research team revealed that the hackers utilized PowerShell commands to disable real-time monitoring in Windows Defender, effectively evading detection. Moreover, they managed to bypass certificate validation, showcasing the sophistication of their tactics. And this is the part most people miss. Andy Piazza, Senior Director of Threat Intelligence at Palo Alto Networks Unit 42, explained that the malware, identified as 4L4ND4R ransomware, encrypts files and demands payment in Bitcoin and various alternative cryptocurrencies. The company is currently working tirelessly to uncover the identity of the attacker and determine if similar ransomware assaults have been launched against other targets. Earlier this week, Shadow Server researchers reported a staggering number of 17,000 SharePoint instances that were exposed online, with 840 of them still harboring the critical vulnerability known as CVE 2025-53770. Hackers have been capitalizing on this flaw for weeks, making it a prime target for exploitation. At least 20 of the vulnerable servers were found to contain web shells, indicating the presence of intruders. In July, it was revealed that there were at least 300 confirmed compromises globally, affecting systems across various sectors, including crucial U.S. government agencies. The ransomware attack connected to the SharePoint assault adds another layer of concern to the ongoing attack campaign. Microsoft had previously alerted about the SharePoint vulnerability, attracting the interest of China-backed hackers, heightening the stakes. However, Palo Alto Networks researchers noted that the ransomware attack did not appear to be associated with nation-state activities. Previously, researchers from Google and other companies had warned about opportunistic attacks targeting vulnerable SharePoint instances, emphasizing the need for heightened vigilance. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the ever-evolving nature of cyber threats and the importance of proactive security measures. What do you think? Is the cybersecurity industry doing enough to combat these evolving threats, or are we playing catch-up? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Microsoft SharePoint Zero-Day Bug. What you need to know. A cyber threat that's raising eyebrows. Microsoft SharePoint has a vulnerability placing vital government networks and, by extension, national interests under direct fire. You may have heard talk of yet another software bug, but this one's far from run-of-the-mill. Critical U.S. agencies, including those involved in national security and infrastructure, rely on SharePoint's on-premise platform. The implications? Far-reaching and alarming. Here's where things get unsettling. Hackers have started to actively target this newly discovered zero-day flaw in Microsoft's SharePoint server. Unlike the cloud version, which escapes unscathed for now, the on-premise version is common among government agencies, universities, and major businesses. This throws open the doors, not just to isolated data, but to intertwined internal systems, putting a web of sensitive information and services in jeopardy. But what exactly makes this bug so dangerous? The initial warning signs appeared when cybersecurity company iSecurity spotted suspicious behavior on July 18th. researchers unpacked a hidden chain of vulnerabilities that allows attackers to seize complete control of exposed SharePoint servers, crucially, without any need for user credentials. This means intruders can slip in unnoticed, swipe cryptographic machine keys, and then use them to forge authentication tokens. The upshot? Hackers get to masquerade as legitimate users or services, making their presence devilishly hard to detect, even if the system is patched or rebooted after the breach. And here's the part most people miss. According to iSecurity, this exploit has roots in two techniques originally demonstrated as mere research at the Pwn2Own conference earlier this year, the kind of thing rarely expected to make it into mainstream attack arsenals. But attackers have pieced the puzzle together, weaponizing the method in real-world breaches. The operation, now nicknamed Tool Shell, has moved from hypothetical to hazardous territory. Why is this such a big deal? Consider what happens after a SharePoint server gets compromised. The attacker's reach extends to various connected Microsoft services like Outlook, Teams, and OneDrive, all of which house troves of business and government data. Even more troubling, hackers can linger quietly by leveraging stolen cryptographic keys, maintaining a backdoor into organizational systems for months. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has sounded the alarm, recommending that organizations check for breaches immediately and disconnect vulnerable servers from the Internet. Initial reports only counted about 100 affected servers, but the number has quickly surged past 400 globally, a tally that continues to rise. It's important to note that each compromised server could affect multiple departments, agencies, or even private companies. Among the noteworthy targets is the National Nuclear Security Administration, NNSA. Microsoft has admitted it was attacked, but did not confirm whether any data was actually stolen. Other organizations reported to be in the crosshairs include the U.S. Department of Education, Florida's Department of Revenue, and the Rhode Island General Assembly. Faced with increasing pressure, Microsoft publicly confirmed the existence of active attacks exploiting this SharePoint flaw and responded by releasing patches for SharePoint Server 2016, 2019, and the subscription edition as of July 21st. But here's the twist. Even after patching, if attackers have already taken those crucial machine keys, they can still impersonate users and access sensitive data. Simply patching isn't enough. So what action should organizations take? If your team manages on-premise SharePoint servers, whether in a major corporation or a government agency, it's essential not to take this lightly. The recommended steps include 1. Immediately disconnect any servers that haven't been patched to stop ongoing attacks. 2. Apply the latest security patches for all supported SharePoint server versions without delay. 3. Replace all cryptographic keys used to sign authentication tokens. If these were stolen, attackers can maintain hidden access. 4. Scan all systems for unusual activity, such as suspicious logins or unauthorized movement across networks. 5. Activate detailed security logging to catch suspicious behavior going forward. 6. Review access to linked services like Outlook, Teams, and OneDrive for any red flags associated with a breach. 7. Stay informed by subscribing to alerts from CISA and Microsoft about emerging threats and updates. 8. Evaluate the benefits of migrating to SharePoint Online, which offers enhanced automated security and patching. 9. Remind users to adopt strong password habits and enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. Even if everyday users aren't directly at risk from this exploit, these measures provide an added layer of defense. Encourage password managers to help avoid password reuse and bolster overall security hygiene. Let's not overlook the broader issue here. How quickly so-called academic or proof-of-concept exploits can morph into tangible real-world attacks, threatening the backbone of major institutions. It's a stark reminder that technological research intended for constructive purposes can quickly be twisted for destructive aims. And this is the controversy that sparks debate. Should there be stricter regulations or cybersecurity standards governing the software used by government agencies? Are we doing enough to prevent, detect, and respond to these fast-evolving threats? Or is the reliance on platforms like SharePoint a significant weak link in national security? It's not just a question for IT professionals, but for everyone with a stake in digital privacy and safety. What's your take? Should government tech mandates become more rigorous, or do we risk stifling progress? Share your thoughts or concerns in the comments below. The bottom line: the SharePoint zero-day incident isn't just a wake-up call for IT departments. It's a test for how agile, transparent, and proactive our defenses really are in a world where yesterday's security research could become today's cyber weapon. Stay alert, stay informed, and make your voice heard on what should come next. Whoa! Critical SharePoint RCE exploit. Immediate patch needed. Imagine a security vulnerability so severe that it's actively being exploited in real-world attacks. This is exactly the situation with the critical SharePoint flaw identified as CVE 2025-53770. But here's where it gets controversial. Some might underestimate the urgency of patching such vulnerabilities, yet the facts speak loudly. This flaw, known as tool shell, enables malicious actors to bypass authentication, access sensitive cryptographic secrets, and run arbitrary commands with system-level privileges, all without needing any user credentials. This isn't just a theoretical risk. It's confirmed to be exploited in the wild and has been officially listed in the CISA Known Exploited Vulnerabilities (KEV) catalog. That means organizations ignoring this threat are leaving their systems wide open to attackers who can take full control, steal data,